If you're not familiar with today's style of video, this is an iceberg, also known as an iceberg tier list or chart. An iceberg explores and ranks elements part of any topic from most known to least known. There is a wide range of iceberg examples of pretty much anything you can think of. So today I'm doing my own Forgotten BTS Songs iceberg. We're going to start at the tip of the iceberg with the BTS songs that, although they are not as popular as the others, a big section of the fandom knows them. But as we submerge more and more, it can get harder for you to recognize these songs. I'm only including BTS songs, no solo songs, remixes, skits, intros, interludes, or outros with no lyrics. So let me know how many of these songs you know in the comments. Let's start with tier 1. Out of BTS's entire discography, these are the songs with least streams on streaming platforms. So, do you recognize this song? This is A School Love Affair, the intro of BTS's third mini album, A School Love Affair, from 2014. A School Love Affair is performed by the three rappers, RM, Suga, and J-Hope, and it shows different rap styles. Suga starts the song with a desperate look for love. But then Suga is interrupted by J-Hope, who tells him that love should be hopeful, so the tone of the song changes completely. But then RM interrupts the song and reminds J-Hope and Suga of BTS's style. So with a hip-hop track, RM explains a more complex definition of love. Generally speaking, 26 million streams is a lot, but for an artist like BTS, whose most popular songs have more than 1 billion streams, and the regular songs range from 100 million to 500 million, I understand how 26 million looks small for BTS. But still, I'm very surprised this is one of the 4 least streamed BTS songs. BTS has performed A School Love Affair many times, and as recently as 2020. In my opinion, it deserves a lot more recognition. Now, can you recognize this other BTS song with also 26 million streams? Every ARMY knows Like, also known as I Like It, of BTS's first mini album Too Cool for School from 2013. But what you just heard is Like Part 2, its Japanese sequel, part of their first Japanese album, Wake Up. Like Part 2 is also a romantic and sweet song, which references liking someone and a like on social media. And this particular sequel is subtitled At That Place because it explains the fantasy of meeting the other person in one particular place for a date. BTS has performed this song live many times. It has a choreography and an official dance practice on their YouTube channel. They also performed live an unofficial Korean version of the song. You can find Like Part 2 on streaming platforms with its Japanese name Iine Part 2 Ano Bashode. So you need to check all of these out. Now, can you recognize this other BTS song with 24 million streams? This is Wishing on a Star from BTS's Japanese album Youth from 2016. Like the title suggests, Wishing on a Star is about the hardships that everyone has to inevitably go through to get to the dream. It's about hope. This is an R&B song with motivational lyrics, but it can also be very fun. BTS has performed the original Japanese version of Wishing on a Star a couple of times, and a special Korean version at Day 1 of their Sowusu concert in 2021. But of course, only the original Japanese version is on streaming platforms. Next, can you recognize this song? This is Could You Turn Off Your Cell Phone from Dark and Wild, BTS's first studio album from 2014. Like A School Love Affair, this song has the same type of fun discussion by the rappers, but this one has a chorus sung by the vocalist. Could You Turn Off Your Cell Phone is all about smartphones and social media. RM represents someone who hates the obsession people have over phones.
말까지 넌 폰으로 해 그리고 센스 있다는 듯 살짝 궁은 내
Suga represents someone who defends prioritizing their smartphone in the information age.
절반 이상이 스마트한 21세기 얼굴 보고 얘기하는 건 한물가만 나라야
And J-Hope tells them both to stop fighting and enjoy the moment.
오랜만에 만났으면서 왜 또 그렇게 싸워 일단 밥 한 끼가 우리 다워
Unfortunately, BTS has never performed this song live, but it's in all streaming platforms. This is not always the case for the songs part of Tier 2. The songs part of this tier have less than 12 million streams. So, can you recognize this song?
네 랩은 만화시계처럼 허영만 했어 담배 살도 넘나 봐 왜 맨날 불만했어
You may know We Are Bulletproof Part 2 and We Are Bulletproof The Eternal. This is BTS's official version of We Are Bulletproof Part 1, released in 2015. I'm saying BTS's official version because the first time this song was released was in 2010 by a BTS that is not the BTS we all know. This BTS had RM and 2 other rappers. That's why the 7 members we know today modified, re-recorded, and officially released this song on SoundCloud for their 2nd anniversary. They also performed it at their live Trilogy Episode 1 concert. Since this used to be a rap line only track, We Are Bulletproof Part 1 is the only song in which all the members rap. And the song is about how it doesn't matter if everyone throws bullets at them. They are bulletproof. They are history in the making. The only way to officially listen to this song is on SoundCloud, but you can also watch an official fan re-uploads of the live performance on YouTube. It does have some kind of choreography and it's very fun. Now, can you recognize this BTS song with 11 million streams?
Just keep on and on and on.
This is the Japanese song Wake Up of their album Wake Up. They have performed it live, and this is in my opinion one of their most underrated songs ever. It's almost 6 minutes, which makes me so happy. BTS really had a lot to say with this one. Wake Up has a message for their haters, their fans, their families, and a reminder for themselves. They have to wake up both physically and mentally to make their dreams possible.
Wake up.
In 2014, BTS went through a very difficult and exhausting schedule. They explained the feeling of working with almost no sleep, just because their ambition drove them to continue. The dream was bigger than anything else. Like I said, this is an underrated song, part of an underrated album. So can you recognize this next song, also part of this underrated album?
Life is game, go play, we ride, go away, we high, okay.
This is the Japanese song The Stars from BTS's Wake Up album. And yes, they have performed it live at their first Japan tour. The stars represents their dreams. Remember, this is 2014. BTS is working non-stop and sometimes they feel like giving up. But then they look at the shining stars. They are far away, but they are there. So even if they have to work all night long, they will be alright. While Wake Up is motivational, The Stars is more comforting. This really is a sweet song. Next, can you recognize this song? This is With Seoul, a promotional song BTS made for the city of Seoul in 2017. This is a soft pop song with traditional Korean sounds and orchestral elements, and it's about how beautiful and comforting the city of Seoul is for them. And unfortunately, this song is not on streaming platforms, but it has an official video on YouTube and you can download the song for free on their website Visit Seoul. The link is in the description of the music video. And also, Visit Seoul has used the song in 2017, 2019, and 2021 for different promotional videos. This is the last song of the second tier. Now let's go to tier 3. The songs part of tiers 3, 4, 5, and 6 get harder and harder to find for a new fan who was not present during the moment of release. So, can you recognize this song? This is I Know by RM and Jungkook. This is the song they released for BTS's anniversary celebration during Festa 2016. So the song is dedicated to their fans. RM and Jungkook sing that they know the love they receive. That's why they are singing and that's why they say thank you. The song was only officially released on SoundCloud, but RM and Jungkook have performed I Know multiple times in concerts, and they also sang it live for a promotional video for the shoe brand Puma. Now, can you recognize this next song? This is A Song to Make You Smile by the Korean singer Lee Seung-gi featuring Harim and BTS's members RM and J-Hope, released in 2011. So this is a pre-debut song. This could have easily been part of the last tier of the iceberg, but Lee Seung-gi released a remastered version of the song in 2020 and properly credited BTS. So a lot of ARMYs during the Dynamite era listened to this song for the first time. In this ballad, the singer helps the other person go through a breakup. This is literally a song to make you smile. RM and J-Hope's verses are very short but hopeful. And this is J-Hope's first song as a member of BTS. Next, can you recognize this song? This is C, the hidden track of the 2017 BTS album Love Yourself Her. Hidden tracks are songs that are only part of the physical copies of the album, which makes it harder for casual listeners to discover. This is why in C, BTS sings about their most difficult hardships and darkest thoughts. They thought debuting in the music industry would be like a sea, but it was actually a desert for them. But with their blood, sweat, and tears, they made the desert the sea. This is a heartbreaking song. BTS mentions specifically the different struggles they went through in their debut years, so I recommend you check the lyrics. Unfortunately, BTS has never performed this song live, but Jungkook sang parts of it in a 2021 live stream. While we talk about hidden tracks, can you recognize this song? Oh, hey, This is Path, also known as Road, the hidden track of their first album, Too Cool for School. They wrote this song while they were still trainees, so the song explains their ambitions and fears, how they decided to move to Seoul and become singers. But most notably, BTS wonders if they would be the same people if they didn't pick this path. BTS performed Path in their first tour and then again in 2017. Like I said, the song is not on any streaming platforms, but between the unofficial lyric re-uploads and live performances, there's millions of views there. In my opinion, this makes it more popular than the songs from Tier 4. The songs from Tier 4 are either on SoundCloud or somewhere on the internet. So, do you know this song? This is Perfect Christmas, an original Christmas song by different artists signed to Big Hit at the time, including BTS's RM and Jungkook. This song is not on streaming platforms, but it was released on YouTube right before the Christmas of 2013 with a teaser, a music video, a behind the scenes, and even a promotional cover of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. This is a romantic song about their perfect Christmas with a romantic interest.
I like to take you, girl. Even Christmas Eve 시간 대신 내 맘에 불태우게 해줘서.
And this is genuinely one of my favorite Christmas songs. I think that if this was released after 2015 on streaming platforms, it would have gotten a lot more attention. And every time I listen to this song, I wish more and more for BTS to release a Christmas song. Next, have you listened to this song?
네 인생은 회색 빛깔. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah.
This is Like a Star, an adapted song by Jungkook and RM of J. Cole's song Like a Star. Adapted songs were very common during BTS's pre-debut years. They would take an existing song and make their own lyrics in Korean to practice their songwriting. Jungkook and RM worked on this adapted song a couple of months before their debut. So in the song, they sing about feeling out of place, having no real friends, and living an uncertain life after choosing this path.
일어서지 못하고 그대로 주저앉아 버린 나도 전전긍긍해 양심의 병에 몇 번 끙끙대
BTS released this song on SoundCloud in 2013 and they performed it live in 2015 during their first tour. Now, do you know this next song? This is 95 Graduation, not to be confused with the extremely popular Graduation song. 95 Graduation, also known as Graduation Song Part 2, is an adapted song by Jimin and V of Lupe Fiasco's song Old School Love. They released this song on SoundCloud in 2014 because they were both graduating school at the time. In the song, they promise to remember their life before graduation and they analyze the responsibilities they have now as adults. Unfortunately, they have never performed this song live, but you can listen to it on SoundCloud. Now let's go to Tier 5. Tier 5 includes songs that it doesn't matter how many unofficial uploads I add, none of these surpass 3 million views. So, have you ever listened to this song?
너만 보면 희죽되고 네 옆에만 서면 작아지는 걸.
It really surprised me to see this song this low on the list, but that's what the numbers say. This is Young Love, released in 2022 as a hidden track from BTS's anthology album Proof, and it's performed by RM and Jungkook.
Young love.
In this anthology, BTS share their past demos and unreleased songs, so we don't know exactly when this was recorded, but it was definitely before 2022. This song, as the title says, is about young love, and it shows some kind of sweet and innocent perception of love.
My love is so young It's like the littlest child 지금몇박이라도 돌듯 계속 뛰는 이 마음
In my opinion, it could have been part of a school love affair, but we don't really know where it was supposed to be. Now, have you ever listened to this song?
아니 진심이 담긴 말 한마디 용기란 그 I want it.
This is Quotation Mark, another hidden track from BTS's 2022 anthology album Proof, and it's performed by RM, J-Hope, and Jungkook. This seems like it was made years after Young Love. The lyrics are complex and the song has the vibe of the Love Yourself era, but again, we don't know with certainty. Question Mark is about the fear of rejection. They want to confess their feelings, but they feel trapped by their own emotions.
귀에 들리게 다 고백할 수 있게
So they feel angry and frustrated.
죽는다면 마치 쪼개갈 거야 하루에도 수십 번은 더 거짓말하고 사니까
I really recommend every ARMY to listen to every hidden track because it's crazy how BTS makes amazing songs and decides to hide them. But it is special when ARMYs go out of their way to listen to these songs. Next, have you listened to this song?
이 밤이 와도 이 밤이 가도
This is So For More, not to be confused with So For More, also known as Second Grade of their album Dark and Wild. That is an original BTS song. This is an adaptation of Pro-Era's song Like Water. They released this song for their first anniversary, so the lyrics are about the anxiety they have when thinking about their future.
조용한 하나 없었던 1년은 살얼음판 어디로 가는지 난 몰라
and their choice to continue pursuing their dream.
I don't wanna fucking lie 그딴 짓 안 해 꿈은 저 따위 맘은 반지하에
They released a video on YouTube, the song on SoundCloud, and performed it on their first tour. But it's true that there are only a couple of shaky fan cams. Now, do you know this next BTS song?
요즘 매일이 왜 이리 외로워 막 매일이 괴로워 나 그때 가족도 없고 휴가도 없어 스케줄에 내일이 두려워 다
You probably know BTS's pre-debut song, A Typical Trainee's Christmas.
지금이라도 연애를 권장해보겠어 나는
Christmas I give you my heart
But this is A Typical Idol's Christmas, an adaptation of Justin Bieber's Only Thing I Ever Get for Christmas, and released on SoundCloud in 2013. In A Typical Trainee's Christmas, BTS expresses their feelings during Christmas as trainees. But in A Typical Idol's Christmas, they had already debuted, so they sing about their dream coming true.
데뷔한 건 올해 내 dreams come true
And spending their first Christmas as BTS with ARMY.
Thank you my fan my homie my fan 당신이 어디 있든지 난 달려갈게
Finally, we have Tier 6. Now, I don't blame anyone who doesn't know or doesn't remember ever listening to the songs from this tier, because all of these songs are from a very different BTS. But I decided to still include them because they are on BTS's profile on different streaming platforms. These are technically official BTS songs. So, have you ever listened to this song?
애교 부리지 말라니까 나 진짜 삐졌어
더는 못 참아
This is Love You Hate You by the vocal boy group 2AM featuring BTS. More specifically, RM and two other rappers training to be part of BTS at the time. This song is about a complicated relationship that constantly goes from love to hate.
그만 좀 해줘 내가 널 미워하기 전에 다 며칠 만에 어떻게 이리 사람이 변해
RM is one of the songwriters for this song, which was released in 2010, almost 3 years before BTS was a 7-member group. The song has 3 million streams on Spotify, making it the second most popular official BTS pre-debut song. But it has no live performance. Next, do you know this song?
나 다시 태어나게 부탁해 내가 체념하게
너의 사진을 보며
This is Because I'm a Foolish Woman, a song released by Kang Mi-young featuring BTS in 2011, 2 years before BTS's debut. But once again, only RM is part of BTS today, so that's why this song is on BTS's profile. This is a ballad about being unable to move on after a heartbreak. RM's verse can also be interpreted as the other person's point of view.
차라리 욕이라도 해줘 외면하지 마 그래야 내가 널 붙잡지 바보 같은 우리가 엇갈린 뒤로 너무나 힘들잖니
This is one of my favorite pre-debut BTS songs. The bad thing is that it's hard for international audiences to find on streaming platforms because the title is only in Korean. So although it's on BTS's artist profile, it has only 1 million streams. Now, if you know the next 2 songs, that would be very, very impressive. Have you ever listened to this song?
난 추억들을 태우고
This is Ashes, the oldest BTS song you can find on streaming platforms, released in September of 2010, almost 3 years before BTS's debut. Ashes is performed by Lee Yeon-hee, featuring BTS's RM and another BTS member at the time. So this is BTS's first collaboration. Ashes is a ballad about the aftermath of a breakup. All there's left are ashes.
믿을 수 없어 우린 이제 끝이란 네 고백 좋았잖아 왜 이제 와서 이별을 고해
Ashes is also a song hard to find on streaming platforms for international audiences because the name is only in Korean, but it has accumulated 300,000 streams on Spotify and 30,000 on YouTube. Finally, have you ever listened to the least streamed official BTS song ever? This is Bad Girl, a song released in 2011 by Lee Hyung featuring Glam and BTS, more specifically RM and another member of BTS at the time. Lee Hyung is the only artist aside from BTS to still be part of the label Big Hit.
방탄소년단 이현
which makes me wonder why this is the song with least streams on BTS's entire official discography. On Spotify, Bad Girl has 100,000 streams, and on YouTube it has 24,000. I'm guessing the song was properly credited to BTS not long ago, so it also took me years to find this song. Bad Girl is about falling for the wrong person, but it's more silly and fun than serious.
쿵쿵쿵 또 막혀오는 숨숨숨 네 진심을 안 후회하고 벗어나려 애쓰는 중중중
And as expected, it has no live performance.
이제는 let me know the real you 모두 말해줘 내게
I hope you liked this video. Let me know in the comments if you have ideas for any other BTS related iceberg I could do.